guys, I'm Kate. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first writing experiment of the year. I thought it would be a good idea to start 2019 off right by again attempting to live my ideal writing work life balance. I did this in December for a single day, but like so many of you guys, my day-to-day isn't the same. And actually, a lot of the time, it's not even close to the same. Sometimes I have more freelance work, sometimes I'm in the middle of like a huge revision, and other times I've made other tube videos that need a lot more attention and help than usual. And what this video actually turned into, you'll see. But I want to make the point that the recording aspect of this started out really strong and then petered a lot as the week went on. For a variety of reasons, some of them will be very evident, but others won't be quite as obvious. Like on Friday, I got a migraine and I was just out. So current me, post-experiment me, is going to pop into the video to explain stuff that might be less obvious like that, but I'm going to drop us off at the very beginning of the experiment, in the midst of my morning work routine, and let past me take away the explanation from there. The ship drifted above the horizon. Princess, should they wish to remain friends for long? Okay. So what I learned from this last time is that I can expect about 6 to 7 hours of dedicated, completely focused work a day, ideally. Knowing that and knowing that I'm attempting this thing called weekends again, and because this week I've chosen I'll actually be out of town at a friend's house for those 2 days, my breakout looks like this. So here's what I'm actually going to do. I have myself cutting off at like 5:30 each day and then 5 over on this side. I imagine what's actually gonna happen, like I usually do, is I work in here anyways to kind of make up for times where I didn't do as much work here. And then I did give myself a weekend. I attempted, okay? The attempt is here, all right? We'll see what I'm actually able to accomplish, because even though I like wrote out what my plans were for today, I've already kind of theoretically messed them up. Because this took a little bit longer than I thought to set everything up. Again, these realizations, y'all. So what I'm going to do is, this is the tail end of my experimental week, and I'm going to actually record what happens here and here so that I will find out, gosh dang it. This week it's a little bit weird in terms of AuthorTube because I've already filmed one of the videos that'll be going up during this time, but it's like a freaking mammoth to edit. Like, oh, it's like at 40 minutes right now. So it's just gonna be insane. So I knew that that was gonna take some extra time, and then I'm hoping to get a Cooking with Classics episode up this week. Spoiler alert, I did not get that Cooking with Classics episode in. As the week devolves, I don't think any of you will be surprised that that did not happen. Which always also takes a little bit of extra time just because there's so many different angles to like get the food while I'm talking about the books. But that of course is the point of doing this, because even though this week is weird in terms of that, it's also weird in terms of writing because I'm going to be finishing up Project Blue this week. Oh, you sweet summer child, you. And so my focus these next like 3 days is almost entirely Project Blue. It's like Project Blue, Project Blue, Project Blue, Project Blue, more Project Blue. But then the next week, no Project Blue, so I actually have time. I think that's going to be the thing where it meshes up a little bit better with what I would actually be doing anyways, rather than trying to force it all into one day's schedule. Yeah. I'm gonna do my best this week. Man, you guys, we're gonna see. All that being said, I am gonna try my best to hit the solid 6 to 7 hours where it's like full concentration, because making myself do that last time was so helpful because I don't usually do things at that level of concentration. So even though I only got 6 to 7 hours compared to like maybe, you know, like a 9-hour workday, you'd think, I was so much more productive than those days where I work just like, you know, all day and kind of not really at full attention. So yeah, this will be a great freaking experiment. Let's see how it goes. I really should stop talking now because AuthorTube is taking up too much time now. I got stuff to do. Okay, so my break's done. I had breakfast and I did appropriately update this, but what I think I'm actually gonna do, go ahead and edit the video for a little bit because I'd like to get that done before tomorrow so I don't stress about getting it up tomorrow. Oh my gosh. I got it down to 25 minutes. Ah! And this is technically the second round of editing, so I will save the rest of it either for tonight or edit tomorrow in like a mad panic. that sounds like a bad idea, but you never know. Okay, I have taken a break for like 2 hours. It was on accident. This is why I'm supposed to be recording this stuff. I am still watching Jesse's video, so I will do that as I get back on track. Ah!
Quite a stranger. Yeah, I know if it's like a beta reader that...
So clearly I'm back to working on Project Blue. I'm doing the line edits so that I can make this draft the best it can possibly be, the most readable it can possibly be, because barring anything crazy that my beta readers give to me after this round, this is the full thing that I'm going to be querying. Like, this is it. This is it. So I'm having to just read it out loud a million times. I've talked about this before for other stories, but oh my gosh, it's just a task. And also it's like the little things end up being so particular, and what sounds good when I read it one time is like not quite what I wanted, and it's like I feel like I'm trying to hit this ideal thing in the middle, but sometimes I weave too far one way or the other. This is so hard. Writing is so hard. Why is it so hard? I'm calling it a day, but I'm going to update. Ta-da! Look at how funny it looks. I'm giving myself 5 days to finish this. I'm also now doing another one of those things that takes all of like, I don't know, a few minutes to do. I am trying to set up a live stream, if I remember how to do that, for my AuthorTube chat with Jessica. And so I gotta figure out how to do it again. It has been raining all day, so no midday walk for me. I do think that the only other thing I want to do today, like I really want to get done, is I want to finish a freelance article that I've been working on, one of my own personal ones. Oh, all I have to do is fill in a couple things, and I think before I send it out for people to review, before I post it, it's about Netflix cheaters, so I'm excited. And then after that, I think everything else will kind of just be like sugar on the cake, icing on the cake, Brazilian cheese bread in my mouth. So yeah, let's get to it. This sound of rain is so soothing that honestly all I want to do is take a nap right now. And for the record, that's exactly what I did. I took a nap and then I did other stuff, but I did not return to work that day. It was a solid start to the week, let me tell you. I've been working on this video since 7 this morning. It took so much longer than I thought. Pretty par for the course, to be honest. Finally! It's day 2 of this experiment, and it's all gone to shit. I feel like I am constantly underestimating how much time something takes, whether that's AuthorTube or like how many drafts of a novel I'm gonna have to do, or how many times I'm gonna have to read over the same sentence before I'm like, it's okay, it works. Like, my video ideas, much like my story ideas, tend to come up in this kind of manner, by the way. I just find it so interesting because I don't think I had this idea for the expectations versus reality video yet. Like, that was not the plan, and I talk about that a little bit, but I think this is the first inkling you can see of when I was like, feeling a certain kind of way, keep feeling it, and then, aha, video idea. That being said, I am so freaking close to done with Project Blue, aka the Meridian maps. Like, so close to done. That's scary. It's scary to feel like I can finally get to a point where I can say that I'm like done, because I've never had that before. You know, I've never been done with a project of this magnitude before. And of course, I'm saying done like it's done enough to then query an agent, and then if I like fingers crossed, a million fingers crossed, even got one, you know, that's, I still have to do so much work with them. So it's not done, but it's as done as I feel like I'm capable of getting it myself. And that's like terrifying. Anyways, that's not what the point of this is. Just to say that, things are taking a long time, but I think I'm gonna be doing that all night actually, is just working on Project Blue, because of course this weekend I'm trying to have an actual weekend where I'm not doing all of this and actually hanging out with my friend and chilling and like decompressing, and like of course I'll do a little bit of stuff because That's just how I am. But it'll be really nice to just chill, and this will be a great test as I'm learning, because forever my expectations will never meet the actual reality of the situation. What a great test this is. Oh my gosh, I hate it and I love it. I hate it and I love it. Also, the time I've spent not working has just been like figuring out what I'm going to do with this situation. All right, time to get back to it. I've been working on Project Blue all morning. Just 2 Scrivener files up and 2 cups, one of coffee, one of tea. Just how I like it. I was originally planning on making a video being like, I finished Project Blue. I had scheduled that in my plans for my videos because this was supposed to be the timeline, like I was supposed to be done already. But now I have this idea of just talking about that. Again, expectations versus reality. I have so many times where I think that a timeline's a certain thing, and it's no. Have I ever accurately guessed how long something was going to take me before? I don't think I have. Now, sometimes that's because I finish way faster than I expected, but most of the time, like with cute little Project Blue here, it's because I didn't finish on time. But time to record. I'm going to take a break from Project Blue, finally, and film that video. I'm just going to be spewing our random thoughts all out there. Yeah. All morning, Project Blue. So literally right after this is when I filmed that expectations versus reality video. I'll link it up above and down below. Because you can see I'm wearing the exact same thing. I'm even still in my chair. Did not bother changing scenery. But then right after that, like I think that's all I had time for. And then my migraines come with an aura. And so I kind of know when something bad's about to happen. I can tell. I finished filming that video a little bit before noon and I was not okay until 5:30. So 5.5 hours that I was completely just not functioning. Thankfully, I don't get migraines like that very often anymore. It's maybe like 2 or 3 times a year, but I used to get them way more often when I was growing up. So if I got them more often, because they do affect me for such a long time, and actually 5.5 hours is really short. Like if I had to rank where that migraine was compared to others, that was like below the screen. It was not that bad in that it didn't have me out for like multiple days kind of thing. And when I mean out, I mean like sitting in a dark room with a fan pointed directly at my face, feeling like I'm about to throw up with a bucket next to me. Like that is what I'm talking about. Like it's not, I'm not looking at the screen, I'm not doing anything. So yeah, this was a very unexpected turn of events for me, but I'm feeling much better now. All is good. It did, however, affect the amount of work I was able to do that day. All right, moving on.
It's like so bad. Who is?
Oh, I was out of focus.
El partido es el
Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes.
viernes.
It is 11:30 and I just finished chapter 6 of Project Blue. Ta-da! So I'm gonna take a quick break, watch some other 2 videos that I have pulled up and haven't gotten to watch yet, and then I should be going to the gym soon. So that's a nice midday break. Woo! Slowly but surely, Project Blue is coming together. Okay, so I just finished filming a rant video that's going to go up tomorrow. At one point I was going to do cooking with classics, and that's still going to happen this month, but it's not going to happen today. And then I was struck with multiple ideas and was like, oh, I know exactly the video I want to make. So it took me all of like 20 minutes to film, and setup was really easy because I just sit in front of my bookcase and I put the camera on my bed. I'm actually gonna see how long it takes to edit. I will probably do that tonight during the Alabama game. We'll see how long that actually takes me. It'll be a good test because you never know with rant videos. I don't know if this is going to be more or less editing than usual, since it's a lot of like exasperated sighs and shaking of my fists in the air. But now, you can see all of the extra books I have that I don't have room for But now, just gonna ignore that. It's a good strategy, right? They totally don't multiply that way. But now it is back to the meridian maps. My sole focus for the week really has turned into just the meridian maps. And the only reason I honestly think AuthorTube is getting done is because I've said I want to stick to a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday post schedule, which is great and not so great depending on how you want to look at it, because I feel much more accountable to y'all into making a video, which I do enjoy, so it's not like it's a bad thing. But like compared to other fun work, other fun stories that need to get done, they kind of go to the wayside. So it's like the meridian maps first, freelance work, and then AuthorTube, and then my other stories are kind of getting tiered down there, and that's very obvious this week when I look at what I've done. All that being said, back to it! I did end up editing that AuthorTube video while I was watching the Alabama game. We did lose. I did go to bed early, but in between then was a pretty even split between freelance and Project Blue with about 2 hours each. All right, 33,000 words means I'm almost exactly halfway through. I'm right now on chapter 10 of the Meridian Maps line edits. Woohoo! Doug, you want to go outside? I think that's a yes. Okay. So my video is actually about to post in the next, like, I don't know, few minutes. And I don't actually think that I want to do any more work on the meridian maps today. I'm kind of just feeling pretty solid at the halfway point. So what I think I'm going to do is that for the first time this week, the first time during this experiment, I'm actually going to work on my college romance series. Am I slightly disappointed this is the first time I'm working on it? But I feel like I've gotten a lot done otherwise, so not really mad about it. And that's exactly what I did. Hey look, we're back to the future, present, past, depending on when you're watching this, whatever. It is time to go over the amount of work I actually did versus what my expectations for the week were. Tallying it all up because y'all know I love statistics. So my original plan included 42 hours of dedicated, focused work over the 5 days that I considered work and the 2 days that were theoretically supposed to be my weekend, no working. And the breakdown for that was 7.5 hours on Project Blue, 11.5 hours on freelance, 13 hours on AuthorTube or social media, and then 10 hours for my college romance series. What actually happened was 18 hours on Project Blue. So 18 hours versus the 7.5. I was so off, you guys. 9 hours on freelance work, so about what I thought. 16 hours on AuthorTube or social media, which again is about what I thought because I'll get to more in depth on that, but this was just an insane week for that. And then 2.5 hours on my college romance series. And then 3 hours spent working with my co-writer. And that all totals up to be 48.5 hours of dedicated, focused work. And the other point to make here is that I did work a little bit on the weekends. Not a whole lot, but 4 hours worth of work on the weekends, 1 hour of AuthorTube, and then those 3 hours spent with my co-writer. Of course, none of this tracks the part of writing that is so hard to quantify. Like the time I'm thinking about the projects in the gym, or the time I get the epiphany while I'm in the shower, or when I'm using talk-to-text tools to take occasional notes while I'm driving in the car. And then the other things worth mentioning that I did with my week is that I went to the gym almost every day and I did Duolingo every day. So that happened. And for Friday, had I not had that migraine, I probably just would have spent more time working on Project Blue. The way my week went, it was all Project Blue. So now let's talk lessons learned, because I think the obvious lessons are that I'm really bad with time. You know, that whole expectations versus reality thing I've already talked about. But actually the biggest lesson I learned is just how different my weeks are. From week to week, any number of things can change. Like in comparison, this week is looking like very little AuthorTube, about the same amount of Project Blue as I'm finishing up my line edits, more of my college romance series, and then none of my co-written project. And also because I won't be going out of town to hang out with my friend, I know that I will work more this weekend. So the actual overall number of hours will tick up a bit. But on that same token, I'm not forcing myself to just spend all the time absolutely focused and in the zone while doing each task, so I think the productivity hour for hour will probably go down. But maybe that's actually been my best takeaway from all of this, is that now I really know the power of making myself focus. Or maybe even more so, what I realize I'm now capable of doing when I am so zoned in. And also because of this, in the few days since the experiment, I've actually been taking more productive breaks, like watching AuthorTube videos while I clean, and listening to my podcasts while I cook, and watching my TV shows at the gym while I'm on the treadmill. Like, that was something I realized as I was editing this back, where I was just watching myself sit because of course I have to sit so much for work, but then when I was doing my like fun breaks, I was also still sitting. And I think this is a really great habit if I can keep it up, to just get myself up and moving more, because as a writer, like, you know. All that to say, duly noted, self, the next time I'm going to splurge, I'm going to get myself a standing desk. Please comment down below about how you track your productivity, or if you even think that that's something worth tracking. Let me know if you've had any realizations about yourself or your writing or your habits or anything else going on in your life in this first week and a half of 2019. If there's any kind of writing experiments you've been wanting to run or anything like that, comment down below, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all on Saturday with the live stream on my channel at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye. Hey look, it's me! Where is it? Oh. Found it! Yeah, and I'll count up the hours. How am I gonna do this? I don't even know. Okay. What is that hair doing? Oh well. Okay, so I just finished, what the?